Angel's deduction. Anal Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutioner's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive the human machine to plunge the knife in and again and again. It does sound a lot like premeditation.
So, in order... I'm a Tits McGee. I do not belong here. Googie, I think I am a scientific person with my pen and notebook.
In that case, the defense is made cross-examined with the witness. Oh no, your voice was different. Panelist object. Object. I'm an object, nothing but an object with my tits out. I have no purpose, no value, and I sell my tits for just €1 and $1, 1 peso, 1 Mexican currency. not 1 crypto, because that would have been... That would make you a fucking millionaire. Or... what was it? Yen? Also? 1 yen and 1 what are other currencies? 1 pound, 1 cent, 1 quarter, 1 penny. Fuck. Yuan? Whatever. The objection! You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. W, what do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from 1 stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Ashworth. He's my hero, really. Fan service, I guess. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness. You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. What the fuck is this bitch doing? I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So you're saying you mistook something for blood. When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast. Splatter blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that day you thought was blood. Testify. Angel will require a statement, her red muffler. Present the crime photo to the statement. Let's not give an idea. No, that's not what I need. Crime photo. Objection! Miss... Whatever. I demand an explanation. Objection. The witness clearly is not suited for detective work. W, what? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim, and you've proved it yourself with this photograph. But that can be. Only a true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Ashford prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf, no, not that, but something red, really. Well, now where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, now back to business. WH what? Farewell witness, continue testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? How do you know that, bitch? Can you read his fucking mind? What is happening? He was thinking that. What? What? They did not do the effort in this. This is just plattered on there. It was taken out for a reason and they just added to another DS version of it because this is so dumb. The part where your sister stabs the victim. The next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. Googie Gaga, I'm a talentless OnlyFans object. With my tits out because I had no father and no fucking value. That's why I want to sell everything that I have for like such a few dollars. And I'm gonna make so much money, but in 2 years my worth is gone and I'm never gonna get a job anywhere. The only thing they want to do is sexualize me. But I have rights, you know? Like, just because I want to show my asshole in a picture doesn't mean I have to do that all the fucking time. Yes, you do. You sold yourself, you kept selling yourself, and now you're going to continue to sell yourself. But guess what? In a couple of years, nobody wants you. So what you're going to be is at least a relief object for elderly men, or men who don't wash, or men who don't have any sex, or whatever the fuck. You're gonna be that person and you're gonna die like that as well. You fuck with the devil. And you fuck with the devil. You don't need God, but hey. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes. Where I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Is this just dust? What is happening here? This is dust, right? I just washed my hair. The fuck? That's what had me confused in my early testimony. The chief prosecutor made an to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this guy, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me. Pathetic object. That was a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of like a snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. Wow. Threatening a lawyer in the courtroom is already a crime in itself. Attorney Wright gets bitten by a snake. He did not. Topic to come. You fanfiction writers. Bunch of hypocrites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly a predator, this one. A leopard woman. Well, very well, Mr. Wright, you're cross-examining, whatever. Press on the second statement. Okay. So, you fanfiction writers are just all a bunch of hypocrites. You preach that you don't want rape to happen and all that shit, and yet you make two characters forced to do things together. That's rape. You're all a bunch of hypocrites. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I like to see on this floor plans just to be safe. The lunch lady car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Mr.? Why, yes, that's right. But there's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the cough of Queen Lunch Lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little while to climb over the fence. She couldn't have gone to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. How come Miss Sky didn't get away? Third statement 2, and once again ask further. The cell phone gets updated. Oh, I don't see what all of that reads. Okay. And now it's all the way over there. I hate it when that happens. Cell phone gets updated, okay. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? You mean the cell phone? But once again, ask further. My phone? Do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. And no, the court doesn't see. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was one emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. So she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to the good testifying? Alright. You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
I do play this rookie defense attorney.
Okay. Varies depending on the version of the game, but press this statement, you'll be prompted with the plans. Hold it.
Do you illustrate your testimony for the court?
Aha, I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say that one time the lesson occurs. The chief prosecutor stopped the picture and ran behind the position. Then as she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. She pulled the phone over herself and out of the pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I pulled her, grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
Yeah, wait.
And yeah, something like this? The chief prosecutor made her escape, but again still started resisting the pressure.
Present the four-pronged statement.
Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think over, it says... What? That didn't go as well. So Miss Kai is right to run. I'm sorry, but my sister's so suspicious right there. So sorry to say yes I am. I don't get it. This statement varies. You'll be prompted with the plans where Angel explains herself. Present the parking lot floor plans to this statement. So on this one then. I guess so, because the exclamation marks are gone. I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Anal Sky.
Her witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Mrs. Starr, this is a fatal contradiction in your testimony. How do you explain this? HMPH. I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's take a look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the time of this person. However, is that true? You couldn't possibly have seen Miss Guy making the phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of the petition. If indeed you were blocked, you couldn't have seen it.
Order, order! What's the meaning of this?
If she's simply, Your Honor, it's simply Your Honor, she is not covering up lies, she's covering up lies. GRR.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness had told the court.
Here is a good donor, exact recurrence, and for to get this wrong, the witness lied about what she saw. She lied about what she saw, in other words. She didn't say this Miss Sky using the emergency phone.
It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical.
What's the matter, Star? Can't cut your lunchbox?
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you, but you're celebrating affecting people. Why would Miss Star be lying like that?
Huh?
Why would she? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I have something about saying it?
Oh, dang, she's right.
I mean, maybe she really did see her and try to use the emergency phone.
I see no room for out here. You ordered the whatever on rice, right?
Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something here. One more try. HMPH, I see it in your eyes. You still haven't learned your lesson.
Tell us exactly what lie this witness told us about.
Oh, it's where she saw it. Shit. Oops,
she tried to use the emergency phone. Block current. But what is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would have been pointless for her to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
The witness did actually miss Sky using the emergency phone. In other words, Mr. Witness at the crime from a different location. A different location? No, that's a pointless lie if I have heard one. Before you may call pointless, gah, at least let me tell you this, gah.
Let me ask the question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard up till now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed this crime was prompt present where the label security room. Present where the Tic-tac! This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security guard room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second level, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness is not being part of the prosecution office. Couldn't park the only place with white flashes and stabbing noises for some fucking stupid reason where she could have seen the crime, and the back of the petition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yeah? Well, Miss Starr,
I had to chat something real quick.
how many years have I been getting better? I've been getting the better of man. To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got to be better of Angel Star.
I don't understand. I'm probably not reading it properly. Order, witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
Guilty? God, is she talking about Miss Kai?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh.
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard room station.
We had too many tits in this ace whatever courtroom shit detective nonsense. We had so many tits. We need someone that bends over and shows ass. That's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. So you probably should go for that. Lol, he thought I did that to him. People are delusional here, man. I do something and they all think it's involving them or around them, when they could not be further from the truth. They need to stay in their fucking lane and mind your own fucking business. But that concept is dying out. Now everybody is just reading something and calling it the melee rage bait for no reason and all that bullshit. It's so cancer, like, honestly. My brain cells are dying day by day because of these people, man. I would have changed.
It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was a defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. Objection? It still stands? I disagree, Miss Edward. W.H. what? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. Gah. So tell us what her reason was, Miss Wright. Mr. Wright. Me? Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
No, we are not reviewing anything. This is just recapping. Distance to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Miss Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go there from whatever to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, why yes. You ordered the scoot wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. It was bringing a PB&J lunch with my fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. But for a boyfriend, okay, he wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked, I couldn't open it. That takes way too long. That takes way too long. That's why I had to go to the visitors parking B block. That's quite a detour. Yup. It probably took at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes. This changes things considerably, but it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it, I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Raise an objection. 5 minutes between witnessing the murder and the arrest. Think about it. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do in 5 minutes, Your Honor? I guess I flee the scene. Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. This extra is weird, but you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time it was different. This guy died at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. Is inconceivable. Why are they reacting like that? It's so cringe. Well then, it seems we come to an end of this testimony. She has a grudge against the defendant, and here and there is a blank in her statement. Testimony. Miss Ashford is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that Ken shot Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Miss Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? I prefer not to take my defensive team left over. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. WH, what? Is this another of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? A triple decker. Out of deference to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony. She's fucking bribing the judge now, man. This world is weird. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the launch land. No, I'm not reading that. What's she going to pull out of a long purchase this time? Nothing. She's not pulling. What? That's decisive evidence, whatever. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, of the victim's, and the other was the defendant Miss Anal Sky's blood. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. WH, what? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland. No. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Miss Ashworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you have blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. All these so-called, quote-unquote, yeah, no, they are all boys. They're not men, they're boys. You're dating just a bunch of boys. Imagine knowing you're all dating the same fucking girl. You're all pathetic and a bunch of cucks. why not just fuck each other in the ass while you're at it? Bunch of fucking cucking faggots. That's so fucking disgustingly weak. You're all pathetic, man. You should know that the 2 rules of evidence law. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Not so fast, Miss Edward. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it has approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Miss Edward. Okay, weird reply, but is that right? It seems so. Edward is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Sure. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. Well, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to assure that the guilty are properly judged. The victim's shoe was added to the courtroom. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Decisive evidence. The testimony will add the victim's shoe to your court press angel on the 5th final statement. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? This is critical. What's wrong with the victim's shoe? There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. And that gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I'd give a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is the contradiction about the victim's shoe? Show us a problem with this evidence. I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it will be blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of this shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory? Crime photo. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. And then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found in the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such blueprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe. What is with the flashing and stabbing, man? Well, I'm glad that I turned the volume down and all that shit. And whatnot. But I could just hear it in my head because it's implemented in there. It's just so dumb. The white flashes and it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't like it at all. Order. Well, witness, what, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. That's true, there has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. I don't know why it's not here, there, where. It's just good as I just couldn't find the contradictions. What? Hold in. No, I got get what? Oh, this is what easier than a game of ground and fall. You were hurt way to the family. Oh, versus what? What were you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. But she's beautiful. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly a predator, this one. Leopard woman. Weird. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure. I like your attitude. Nobody gives a shit! Fucking tits, McGee! Though apparently you are not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, WL. Was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? I still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? You don't mean, yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's her prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Guy's right hand was hurt. But she didn't say she cut herself when she stabbed him. So my sister's blood on the shoe, that's when it happened? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. W what? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant Miss Anal Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? And me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying that my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Not a lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. You're reaching your verdict, Your Honor. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough of Queen. Look at this. Photograph? I had this just in case everyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. Giving fan service in a different way because everybody did not get ass, I guess. It's not your fault. Why are you thinking that? Just say that. What the fuck? It seems that this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, whether or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. None until the bitter end. Sure, as if that ever happens. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Your Honor, wait, what is it with your people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? And no, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem, right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim for a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us the courtroom in this photograph, the problem. The problem is in this photograph. It's here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Miss Ashworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or a scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a part of the exhaust system or a pipe. I see and I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out in the car's muffler? HMPH. So what if there's something sticking out in the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss whatever, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. Wait, what?
No.
Let's hear what Miss Wright has in mind. Tell us what you think. This piece of evidence, whatever. Miss Starr, you recall your testimony to the court. Recapping. Muffler. Recapping bullshit and all unnecessary moaning. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of was the vital evidence. Well, it seems we will have to suspend proceedings. Suspended. I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. We will have to have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. View that was close. Well, we made it, at least for now. The court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. To be continued. Yes. Alright. 45 minutes. That's fine. Time to skip. So, to start talking about you fanfiction creators, right? You're all a bunch of girls writing basically gay porn because for some retarded reason you want to pick two characters that have nothing to do with each other and you want them to fuck each other, which is disgusting. Extremely fucking disgusting. Yeah, on top of that. Also, aren't you bitches the one that are preaching, even in roleplay, you shouldn't rape, you shouldn't rape, you shouldn't rape, and yet you make two characters forced to like each other, love each other, and to fuck each other. Oh, whoa, what the fuck is this? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Wow, okay. I skipped over that, but that's fine. I don't care. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that mime came in. That's dumb. Who on earth is he? Just the fucking dude with white, gray hair. It's you. In a fucking red suit with a cross on his fucking chest. Bro! Oh. Sorry, I'm late. The roads were packed. It's long time see. Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy. My boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Seems to be his nickname for judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. What? Sorry, but who are you? So you are the attorney. I have heard good things about you. Thanks. So sorry, our little wordy giving you all the trouble. What? What is that grammar, bro? What the fuck? That's so dumb. You see, we should all go swimming together sometime. Little Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Grant, Damon Grant, pleased to meet you everyone. So, what do we owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, has it? Well, no, here, look at the poor fella. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think of it was stuffed into the exhaust pipe. Oh, little whatever car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Ashworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute. I have no desire to hear your excuse. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake in that signature. Miles Edgeworth. That's no fair. The day of the crime I had. Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel, but you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Miss Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Miss Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Why yes, just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade? Your Honor, well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, very well. I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Oh, wait. Whoa. Yeah, but... I went to a very dark place with that one. Yeah, but I cut my finger. I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Bruh, what the fuck? Oh. Come on, just hurry up and open it. For real, though. SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 incident, but it's strange. What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that look a lot like this somehow. Okay. Oh my Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at the knife's blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? No, acid. This is not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure, it's a sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one really. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15, scary coincidence. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department, a detective. That's a hush-hush information. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutioner's office. Order, order, order. Anyway, we were at the department. We're all flustered, as you might well assume. We were in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine a witness. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Present Goodman's note on the second statement Grant makes. Present. I think it's this one then. It's gotta be this one. Objection! Wait a second. At last, an honest goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? An honest to goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s 12-2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But if you turn it around, and what do you get? SL9 to 21. When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order, order. That felt weird. Order, order. Well, Chief. Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win. I win? What game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Grant now changes his statement slightly. Press him on the new statement. The knife was evidence. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. But press grant on the fourth statement or third varies. It varies. A detective was killed. On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Good one, the kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Where was the victim found? So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy we just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. Oh no, air leaving my body. No. With the link between two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. The detectives were killed. That was a bad day for the department. The detective was killed at the police department scene. What a mess. The time of the crime scene. Scary coincidence. It's not officially linked. There's no... it's not there. Gant revises his statement again and then says I'll cooperate. Press this statement, then ask for the ID number. Okay, where is I'll cooperate, huh? Nowhere. It's fucking nowhere. You piece of shit. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases have already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection in a place mentioned in this testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knives of the evidence deck. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. Take it too fucking long. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, and can we get it officially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? Oh, there it is! I'll cooperate, apparently. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might... The victim's ID number... Okay. Michellery 333. Hey, I'm a streamer. I love to be a friend and I want to play together sometime. Add me. Add you on where? No idea what you want me to add you on. But first things first, I am in a happy and healthy relationship with the best woman of my life. And the best girl in the entire galaxy. So yeah, I don't really want any female friends. My loyalty is loyal to my woman. So yeah, back to what's important. Okay, how about you tell me about the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from. Of course not, you won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is... Okay, good for you. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these, it drives me nuts. I can do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does it tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. But this tells me something. And then I need to present Goodman's idea. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does, I think, meaning it has to be. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. But this one. Take that. Witness. What is Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on a prom night. No idea what that's like. No, it's just I got confused and this is news. Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is this yours? No, Your Honor, I'm the defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is... Takes too long. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait. That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82... I've forgotten. You even got the first number wrong again. The police... the number of chief of police gave up... fuck. I think I'm nearing an hour already because I cannot read anymore. What a second. Wait. Damn. Wait a second. Right. What does that? What does mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? So he got killed in there, got transported to the prosecution's Miss Edgeworth parking lot, whatever the fuck, and then Miss Anal Sky found a knife in the dude, took it out. The other bitch thought that she stabbed him, but she actually just took it out. Blah blah blah. Cut herself open. That's why there's blood on Goodman's shoe from the both of them. Calling it now. It's been 1 hour and 6 minutes, so I am going to end it here. Also, Michellery333, fuck you!